Right. So it is a very good opportunity to have this training. Years back, when you have a research to do, or if you are doing a literature review, everything is manual. You would have to gather printouts of all your articles and arrange them according to a certain format, such that in case there's any change or you delete an article, you have to rearrange it manually. But with these softwares, we are able to do all sorts of maneuvers to our articles that we are citing in our reviews, as well as in our discussions and in our academic writing. Now, we have the Mendeley, we have the EndNote, we have the Zotero. There are a few others, but currently the popular ones on the market that we would be interested is the Zotero and the Mendeley, because they are the free softwares that we have around. Mendeley is a free web-based desktop reference manager. And as I said, they are planning to end the desktop version. However, those with the desktop version can still continue to use it. We can have both at the same time till September. It's simple to use. You have the ability to store, organize, and search for all references from several libraries. References can be kept in your own customized way. Now, if you look at these two screens, you realize some basic characteristics about these referencing systems. They have columns where you have folders where you put your articles. Then you have where the middle column most of the time is where you need to select the articles. Then the last column on your right is where you probably would be either editing articles or manually generating your references that you would want to put into your document. As I said, it's free, web-based, and desktop reference managers that we have been using now, and it's helping us do proper academic work. It's simple to use. You store your information, you organize your searching, and to some extent, you can even keep the PDF versions of your articles and even snapshots of whatever images that you would want to reference and use. You can customize it to your own collections of information that you would want to reference. And sometimes you can even form groups that you can exchange articles with this software. You would have to have downloaded the plugins for Mendeley Word and the browser. You need to create an account with the Mendeley, and in this case, it's the Elsevier account, and you would have to sign in to be able to use it effectively. For the Mendeley, the desktop version would offer you the opportunity, if you download the importer, to also get the web library, where you would download your information on the web and you synchronize it, and you immediately will come to your desktop. On the browser, when you click on Mendeley to save the particular article of interest, you would have the option to create a library, and within the library, you can have several folders to be able to look at. So if you're working on malaria, if you're working on COVID, if you're working on tuberculosis, if you're working on non-communicable disease like diabetes, you can have folders for each of these, and you can be putting in articles in there, and we'll practice how these folders are being generated so that you can be putting in articles as and when you can. In Word, you would find in the reference section where you see the icons for citing, the icons for editing the citations, icon for selecting the style, and all that in that. So those of us who have been able to do that will be seeing more of this shortly. Now, when we are successful with our downloading, you should be able to see the Mendeley icon that the red arrow is showing. And this is the importer, and it's also termed as the extension. And you would have to look, if you have it, then you have one way achieved your aim of having a good referencing and practice this evening. If you do not have it, we will find a way of getting this for you. But a simple way of doing that is type in your Chrome or Firefox or Safari, Mendeley importer. And when after downloading it, you will see this. If it does not appear, refresh your browser or close your browser and also open it again, and you should be able to see this icon in there. Now, what does this icon offer for you? When you click on it and you are on any of the search engines like the PubMed, you would see a drop of the articles that you have seen or you would want to use. And in there, you would have either several articles that are appearing for you to select, or you have to manually select the articles. At the same time, you can also, you see communication strategy. This is a folder that would be used to store that or to save that particular information. So when you click on add, you would get it in. The down part, you would see view library. When you click on your library, it will then either ask you to register or to log in into your library before you can use it. If you have done that already, it takes you straight away to your library and you can see several aspects, and we'll be seeing the library as we move on. Now, a typical example is you'll see my library. In my library, then you can put in everything. But then if you start putting everything into your library, a time will come when you would want to, let's say, do a critical review on, let's say, COVID-19 and children. Because everything is in your library, you would have to then go and search for it. But if you create a folder within the library where you have specific articles within specific folders, then it makes it easier for you to navigate and get your information. Now, on your Word document, this is what you have to see when you click on reference. That is a reference. You could see the reference being underlined. It means you have clicked on reference. If we will be doing that, if you click on reference and you can see insert citation, undo, refresh, export, insert bibliography, open Mendeley, and the Vancouver, the style, you can also have a drop list of that. Then you are also ready to be able to cite successfully. And I believe those of us who called this morning and afternoon were able to achieve that. Now, when you come to your Mendeley itself, you will see the three or the two main columns that you would have to be working with. The first column on your left is the column that would give you the opportunity to create several folders for each. And you would see the example here that we have asthma, we have Bill and Melinda Gates, we have biomarkers. Then you also would sometimes need filters. These filters will also help you to quickly look or identify the references. Then this is the reference per articles, the title, the year, the published, the journals that were publishing, and sometimes the date and the time. Because in our literature review, we were told that citations that are 10, 15, 20 years back, unless there is something particular about that citation, it is usually not recommended. You would have to look for citations that are of recent. So having this year would guide you to check or gauge which articles that you are downloading, as well as which articles that you are citing. When you come to the third row, you would see some icons in there. The first icon when you want to add a new folder, a new library, but you see sync. Sync is between the desktop and the web library that you have created. And so anytime it's green, it means that you have the information on your web library is similar to what is on your desktop. And then you see Cite. When you click on the Cite, then it will take you to the Mendeley window for you to be able to select the articles that you would want to use. Then you would have to look out for your plugins, and that is what we found on the Word document that we will be using shortly. And so here we have a typical Word document that, in case you would want to cite an article, you click on reference. The reference will take you to the icons for Cite, then you take you to your Mendeley and you select an article and it will appear depending on how many articles. So it says that creating the bibliography, just click on the bibliography, and based on where you would want to put it, it will just fix it there for you. If there are 20 articles that you have cited, and depending on the reference style, you would have it. You have the opportunity to delete certain references that you think that they are no more useful. And then when you do that, it means that your numbering or your arrangement should change. So when you refresh, then it will do a new one for you. Depending on the style, if it's Vancouver, it's Harvard, you would be able to do that immediately. You would want to also learn how to join groups, and those are more advanced, or when you think that, but it's all very easy to do, because when joining the groups is to follow, so that if one colleague finds an article that is relevant, because you have joined that group and you sync, you would have a similar article. Now, there may be the need to also generate your own article, your own reference. You would have to double click if it's a Mac. You double click the central portion. You double click this side, then it will tell you create a new manual article, because there can be a book that you found, an article that you found, but somehow you cannot find the Mendeley link to be able to cite it automatically for you. So you would have to input in all the parameters yourself and generate your own manual referencing. That can be done. And in that, you would see that you would have to put in the journal name, the year, the volume, the issue. If there's an abstract, you put in the date that you have accessed it and all the information on this section. And immediately you done, and you press OK, you would have it also within the software. Now, additionally, you can also pick the DOI and put it into the search for you to have it, and then Mendeley would automatically save it for you as a reference, and we'll practice all this. When you come to when we go into the practice and we press on the insert, we would see the Mendeley window where it says search by author, title, year in my library. You would have the opportunity to select that, and you have the opportunity to go to Mendeley and you find the article itself, the year, and to be sure, because sometimes you can have one author who is the lead author. Usually the lead author's name comes, and you have several articles of this person. And so it's better to go and double check whether this is the article that is coming from the one that you would want to reference to. Now, we are now clear that at the college level is the Vancouver Style that we're using for referencing. And the Vancouver Style would start with the reference number, the list of authors, usually 5, then the title, then if there's a subtitle, then the edition, then the publication, the year of publication. And this is the format that however, you may be writing an article to a journal that would want you to use the APA style. And so that is the APA style that starts with author's last name and initials, the date, the title of the article, the title of the journal, the volume, the issue, the page, and range that range that you would have to put in. So this is the APA style that in case you're submitting an article or a manuscript to a journal and they would want you to use the APA, that is how we would want to know. Then the Harvard, there are several versions of the Harvard, and so even when you go to the Mendeley and you would want to set the Harvard style, you need to set the version that the journal is recommending that you use, and it also starts like this. Basically, this is what it is for the Mendeley, and it is very similar to that of Zotero. Okay, so now we are starting the practical session. Can each and every one open, those of us who have successfully downloaded the plugins and the extensions, can we all open our Word document? So Word document opened. Can we click on reference? And you can see Cite. the insert or edit citation in there, merge citations in there, undo, refresh, export, insert bibliography, open Mendeley, and then the citation style. Now, can you click on the arrows within the citation style? Basically, we're going to work with these icons here. Now, I don't know how many of you are using the Chrome, but those of us who are using the Chrome, this is what you'll be seeing on the Chrome. You'll be seeing this icon here. And if you click on the icon, please click on the icon, you would see, because mine, maybe what I should do is that let us all open to PubMed. PubMed. Once you open to PubMed, maybe let me use myself. Open to PubMed and type Anson D. Anson D. Once you type Anson D, and you search, several articles will come. Then you click on your importer. If you put the icon on it, it says Mendeley Web Importer has access to this site. It means that the site that you are currently in, the importer has an access to it and can help you manage your. So if you click on it, you would notice that it will take some time. If you have problems, please let us know immediately. And you see that you have select all, that is all the articles that we're showing. You can select all, but you can also specifically select the article that you want. And then you would add it to your library. Now, you will see Anson D. et al. 2014 folder, and there are several folders that I have created. Now, if you want to also create a folder, we would show you how to create a folder in your system. You can change this and go onto a raw page like this. Change to a raw page, Google page, search engine page like this, and you click on the importer again, and let's see what will show. You see, you have nothing to show. But when you type, let's say Ghana, immediately you type Ghana, then it changes and say it has access to Ghana. When you click on it, you would see the web page, and it immediately creates a citation as a form of a web page citation for you. Now, those of us who have been successful, we are going to go to another step. I'm just taking you through all the various areas such that when we start with a reference, it becomes very easy. You click on View Library. View Library. Click on View Library because you're going to create a library for yourself. So when you click on View Library, it brings you to your library. So this is the library that I've been working with. In the library, you would have all references, recently added references, recently read, your favorites. You would have opportunity to click favorite like on your phone when you have favorite numbers that you have clicked, and then my publications. Then there are some publications you want to trash, you can trash. Then you then would also see all the various, the author, the year, the title, the source, and the time that it was added. If there is an attached file, a PDF version of the article, you would also find it in there. Now, let's all create a new folder. It's saying that files from computer add manually or import from the library. So you would also have the opportunity to do that. Right. Then let's keep this also on and then click on our Mendeley desktop. Okay, so we want to create a folder. If you look at this, you could see create a folder on the left right column. Below simulation, you would have create a folder. And when you say create a folder, it gives you the opportunity to create a folder. And so we are going to create the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons folder. And immediately we have that folder. And you could see there's nothing in this folder. Now we're going to import or put in some articles to be able to use it to cite. If there are any hitches, let me know whether you have been able to create your folder, your new folder. Once you've been able to do that, we go online now. We select, maybe we still can go back to, okay, let's start. So let's say COVID-19. What we sometimes recommend is that you can go to Google Scholar, and then you can search for COVID-19. And then you'll see that your importer is still active. Then you click on the importer. Then all the articles that are under COVID-19, it will take some time. All right, so we have 14 references detected on this page. Now we want to put it in the Ghana College folder. So select the Ghana College folder. Okay, so you see, I cannot see the Ghana College folder in my system here because I have not synchronized it. So I need to go back and synchronize. So there's one thing that is going to come to us all the time, synchronizing what you do somewhere, or we create a new collection in the library here, GCP, Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons. So on the browser, on the browser, if you click on the icon, you would see view library, and even you would see my library. And within my library, when you click on it, you would find the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons. Now, how do you create the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons? You would see below here, new collections. So you would have to say, okay, I'm doing a work on COVID in children. So let me look for COVID worldwide information, COVID West Africa, COVID Ghana, and COVID in children. So you create, let's say, 3 folders for it. For now, we created Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons new. Then you press enter and you get it in there. We should see that one in here. Sometimes you need to refresh for you to get it sync or show within this window that we previously didn't have. So let's see whether it has appeared. Not yet. Not yet. Let me refresh it. Right. So I click on it. Ghana College. So when something is not appearing, all that you need is to refresh, and then it will show up. So we're going to put in articles in either the Ghana College of Physicians or Ghana College of Physicians new. And so let me close it and go back to our COVID-19 selections. So these are COVID-19 selections. Now we would want to save these articles. We click on that, and then it says that add to where. We need to be very specific as to where we want to add it to. Okay, now I think we should be ready to go. So we select We select our source. We take this one off, we refresh and make sure that we are getting the information we want. We click on the importer. And so you could see now we have it is giving us a destination, Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons. So we are taking only the first three, 1, 2, 3. Please select these first 3 articles, or maybe the 4th one, and then say add. The ones with PDF, it will add with the PDFs as well. And you could see it has ticked green, green, green. It means the reference added with PDF, references added with PDFs. The ones that were not selected, you could see there's nothing in there. We can add the feed reference. When you click on the feed reference, it tells you add, and let's see what will happen. Reference added, and this one doesn't come with a PDF, and therefore you could see we didn't get the PDF version. Now let's go and view this in our library. Click on View Library. And when you come to your library, you click on it and you find all the 5 articles in there. And you would note that those that had the files attached to download it is also showing. Now, once you have this icon here, you have to synchronize it with your desktop. Otherwise, you will not find it in there. So I click on sync, and it's giving me a green mark that is synced. So I'm praying that I'll go and find it in my desktop. So let's go to desktop Mendeley, and then in desktop Mendeley, I would have to open it again, because you could see I cannot see my new folders in there. Or I can click on sync, and you see all the changes appeared on your desktop. You can see the Ghana College of Physicians one, because I did it 2 times and it's finding it 2 times. It's saying that, so I have to trash one, and there are ways of trashing it. So let's click on the Ghana College of Physicians new, and you will see what will happen. You'll see it's running over here. It's bringing the articles in there. We should see all the articles in there. Why not? No. Let me synchronize again. Okay, so if you're having problems, sometimes you may have to go back and synchronize again. This is one characteristic of Mendeley that makes people drift to Zotero. Zotero, you wouldn't have this problem with working with Zotero. Whilst we can see the articles in your library under Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons new, as we see here, you come to your right. Okay, so these are the same articles that we found, and evidence that the PDF versions are showing in there. Now we're going to write something and make reference to, and this is where most of the candidates they find the challenges, and therefore they decide to do something manual and create several references that you could see doesn't have an end and a tail. So we would go back to our Word document. We can find our insert, we can find our merge, we can find our bibliography and everything in here. Now, let's say write COVID-19 in Ghana. You would want to reference this. So you click on Insert. It takes you to your library. Are you there? COVID-19 in Ghana. Then you click on Insert. Then it takes you to your Mendeley Citation Editor window. Then it says Search. You can either search by the author, the title, the year, or you can even go into your library, but we'll be starting it gradually. So we go to the library, and because we have selected the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons New, that is the window that will show us in the middle. If we change it, it will show us a blank one. If we come back, it takes you there. So let's select the first article. And you would see on top here, Cite. There's a communication, let's see. So those of us who we set Cite, Insert, Library, then you see Cite here, then you click on Cite. Then it means your first article in Vancouver Style has shown. COVID-19 in Ghana, first reported March 20th, 2020. You would want to cite that one too. So you click on Insert, Library. You find the Cite icon here. Then you select the article, then say Cite. Then your second article appears. First reported in March in Kumasi. We insert the next article. We go. We pick the Daniel, Sir John. Then we go to Cite. Now we have 3 articles that we have cited. Let's try and reference it. So, assuming you would want to put your reference below here, so reference, then you come to Insert Bibliography. Then you have your references cited for the 3 articles. Ghana, you can say Ghana is the leading. Ghana has the most deaths. You would want to cite that. So you go Insert, then we take our 4th article. Then we say Cite. Immediately the 4th article comes in there. We first of all looked at the various icons on the Word documents. We looked at the icons that we're going to use on the browser, how to use the importer to create a library, how to create a folder. And now we are picking articles from our folder and referencing them. Are we okay at this point?
Somebody has just indicated that they can't find, please, Mendeley does not show on my Word document. Somebody has put that up. I don't know whether you can address that for that person.
Is he using Mac or IBM? Let me say, if you can see your insert citation, manage citation, undue refresh, and all those things, you should be able to get to this stage. It means that you have your installation complete. Now, of course, you can do all the formatting and all those things that you would want to do. But what would happen is that maybe your second citation, you would want to change it. You just go in and just change it and delete it. And then you go onto your reference and you say refresh. And you are back to it. You can decide to change your first citation and you go and refresh and you are back. You can sometimes also do 2 or more. Now, let me show you something that can happen. If you go in and say, cite something, assuming I'm going to say COVID-19 in Ghana, I'm going to cite, look at what will happen. I come to, if you stay too long on this platform without making any selection and click anywhere, this site icon will disappear. I want to see a situation where it will disappear. And then you say, the site, I cannot find the site again. My site icon is gone. You would have to restart and go back again, before you see the site. Until you select your library, your site icon would not appear. We've had situations where candidates would be calling and say, we can't find our site. They want to cite, they haven't selected the insert, but they want to cite from here. So you see add, folder, sync, and help. It is on this mode because you haven't given it a command to cite for you. It is when you say cite, insert a citation, and you have selected, then it will appear. Have you seen the difference? So pay attention to this, and your candidates will be coming back to you. My Mendeley is not working. My Mendeley is not working, and this is usually the problem. Okay. Now these are the basics for which each and every one of us should be familiar with: how to do the citation, how to run. The rest about forming the groups, the rest about getting new information. For instance, if you want to create a new folder, as I said, you double click and say enter document manual. If you want to enter a document manually, you just click on this, and then article will show. If it's an article, if it's a book, if it's a case, if it's a computer program or whatever it is, then you select, assuming it is a newspaper article that you want to cite. Those ones you really would get the Mendeley get it for you. Then you have to look for your authors for that article in the Daily Graphic or wherever. Then you put it in there. The publication year, you put it in there. The publication, is it News Graphic, Times, Mirror? Then the year. The ones that are inactive means that for that particular selection, it won't come. The city, the day, the month. If it's a web link article, you put in the web link in there. If it has a DOI, you put it in there. And you go and say, save. And it will add it to your document. Because I didn't put in anything, that is why I didn't show anything. So those are the manual entries, so that in case you have any textbook you would want to add on, these are the ways to do it. Can we start a new referencing, and then we would move on to the Zotero. The Zotero will be quicker because that doesn't have these two major interface that you need to navigate and get all these things to bother you. But as I said, because you may have a candidate who is also Mendeley and you are in Zotero, you would have to help that candidate. And that is why we bring in this knowledge. And the fact that articles in the Zotero can be found in the Mendeley, you can sync it. That is why we're doing that. So step one, open a new Word document. Identify your references. You can, step two, you can see insert or edit citation, merge citations, undo, refresh, insert the style in there. Step three, we go back to our internet, our browser, open a window, a new window, go to PubMed. Let's type anemia in Ghana. Let's see whether we'll get some responses. We've gotten some few articles, 729 articles on anemia in Ghana. We are going to select the first 4 articles. Where do we go to select the first 4 articles? I want you to go there before I go there. Where do you go to select and put them in your library? 1, 2, 3, 4. You click on the importer icon here, and all the articles would show. It will take a while. It's downloading them onto the Mendeley for us. That is why mine is taking so. But if your internet is faster, you probably will see. Right. So, and as I said, if you do not want to put these articles in this folder, you can go and select a new one that you have created. So in this case, I'll put it in the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons folder, and also at the same time, put it in the Ghana College of Physicians new. So you can select several destinations for your articles that you would want to select. No. Go back. So first of all, let me select the articles. And then I say add. And then it will go into that folder. So we're looking at an anemia paper that we would want to cite several articles from it. Okay. Okay. So now let's go and view this in our library. Once you see the tick in there, it means that your articles have been referenced in or have been stored in your library, and you have PDF version of some of them. So go to your view my library. That is the step 4. And then let's check whether it is in there. And yes, you could see what time is it? It is 6:10, and you could see we did it at 6:09, 6:09, 6:09. And the one that we did at, so that at least it guides you that, oh, yes, it's here. Otherwise, but where is it? I can't find it. But this time would help you to know that really you've really added it, and it is in the Ghana College of Physicians folder. So now we're going to write something on anemia in Ghana. So we start anemia in Ghana. You would want to say something, reference. So enter or insert. It brings you here. Then you say, go to, then you see your site, but you select first. Let's select the first one, and then we cite. More cases in children. Insert this. Next. And then, of course, you see that I can't see my site now. So it means I have to go back. I have to go back again and say insert library. Then now it shows, then it says cite. Folic acid and iron recommended for management. Again, insert. Cite. You have it in there. So my assumption is that we've all been able to do this. We want to now create our reference list. We come down, and then you say insert. Can you all see the insert? Then you put in insert. Then you are in there. So you can do up to 200 citations. But when you realize that your citation number 56 and your citation number 72 there are new citations that you want to put in. You just delete, you refresh, and you put in your new citations, and you are fine. That is the basics that I think we would take home today. The rest we can add on and on and on. The issue about this referencing manager deal is that the more you leave it without working, the higher the probability that the next time you come, everything will appear very new and you will not be able. So occasionally try and write a commentary, a feedback that would enable you to do some few articles and citations so that you would always be with your reference manager. Otherwise, you come back and you will have to call another person and say, I can't find my site. I can't find how to synchronize. So I'm starting again. So I don't know where to start, but I'll start entirely. Right. So we're saying that if you have your home, always when you open your Word document, you will see this. When you leave the referencing activity for a long time, you even forget where to find the Mendeley. But if you see here, Zotero is here quietly waiting for you to use it. But the Mendeley is hidden in here. Now, what we have done within the last 20 minutes is to go online, and we found some articles on anemia in Ghana. Or let's narrow it. Let's go in Accra. Let's see what we'll see, whether it will reduce. And last time when we were being taught, we say anemia in Accra. That will be much better to give a smaller, okay, the same thing, okay. So once we found this, we say that we would want to put these articles in our library, that we have created a folder. Maybe let me use this opportunity to learn how to create the folder. When you come to your Mendeley library, and are we in the library? Otherwise, let me show you how to go to the Mendeley library. When you click on your importer, this one, you would see view my library. Even though my library is showing right now, if you say view my library, it will take you to your library. So click on it, and it has taken me to my library. Then you would have collections of articles. Now, we would want to create a new collection of articles. And so we click on this and we say Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons trainer program. Oh, I should have trainer. Say enter. If you do not press enter and you click anywhere, it will not register it. So we have trainer. And when you click on it, it's blank, isn't it? Now, when we come to our PubMed article that we would want to, articles we would want to cite, we said we're looking for anemia, cases of anemia or articles of anemia that we have Accra related to, or sort of. And we found 273 articles. We would want to cite the first 5, but we need to put it in our library for it also to go into our desktop Mendeley. Right, so now you would see here, all the articles are in here. We have not imported or exported them into the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons trainer. So we come here, and then you realize that we have selected the Ghana College of Physicians. We will deselect then the new and take the new one. So please take the new one. If you add another one, then there was a one, you see a +1, so it means 2 folders have been selected. If you add another one, 3 folders, this plus 2 additional folders. If you add another one, it means the Ghana College trainer plus 3 folders where these articles would go. We don't want to confuse ourselves. So we deselect, and we are now using the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons trainer. That is the one that we want to use. Okay. Now, we select the articles we add. Okay, so let's do it again. We are selecting the articles now. 1, 2, we've added this one already. 3, 3, 4, 5. I want to take in more so that we can work on more. Okay. So we said add. And you could see once it's added, it's ticked green. And also if you have the PDF version, it tells you the PDF version added. And we are done now. Now let's go and view this. View in the library. And as I said, if you want it to go into your desktop, you always make sure that the sync is working. Now, trainer, and we have all the articles in there. These are the articles we are going to work with in our write-up. Now, when we come to our desktop, we would want to now make sure trainer, you see you can't find trainer here, isn't it? So we need to do the sync. And the trainer appears. And when we click on the trainer, we will see all the articles in there. So it means we are ready to do the citation. And so anemia in Ghana, insert. Go to Mendeley. We have selected the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons trainer. We select the first article. The site is there, we cite. More cases in children. Insert. Folic acid and iron recommended for management. Insert. You would want to add more articles in there on management. Insert. Additional one. Is Cite. So you are done. Reference. Okay, so now,
Prof.
Yes.
Someone is asking, can you add articles from non-PubMed databases like Google Scholar Mendeley?
Sure. Let's quickly do that. So go to your Chrome or your Firefox. Go to your Chrome or Firefox. So maybe let me add a new. So for instance, this is Scholar. So go to Google Scholar, then also search for hypertension in pregnancy and Ghana. So we're looking at hypertension in pregnancy and articles in Ghana. And this is Scholar, and you would see the importer there. So this is Scholar, articles on hypertension in pregnancy, and then you would see. And then when you click on it, So you then would go and say, select. You select all the articles you want. And again, we are selecting the first 5. Oh. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And we want to put it, let's put it in the Ghana College, a new folder. Otherwise, we may have problems finding these articles. Then you say add. And as I said, as you are adding, you see it's adding, you could see the engine adding. Once it's added, you could see it's ticked and it will show the ones with PDF nicely like that. What did I say after this you would do? What would you do after this stage? If you remember, do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After this stage, you click on View Library. Then you view your library. Then you go and check whether it's in there. Ghana College in there. And you would see 625, 626, 626. So these are the recently added articles, the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's in there. What did I say you would do after this stage? Make sure these articles are also in your desktop. So you go to sync. So you click on sync and it's in there. Then you minimize. Then you come to your desktop and you want to check whether it's in there. So Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons, and I couldn't see anything in there. It's not in there. What would you do to check or to get it in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You go to sync. And once you sync, you'll find all of them in there. And the same time that you downloaded is in here. So the syncing is very, very important. We've had problems with candidates who say, I can find the article in my library, but I can't find it on my desktop and I cannot cite it. It's because the individual had not synced the information and therefore you cannot find it in there. Now, if you want to now use this, you then would open your Word document. And here, anemia or hypertension, sorry, in pregnancy. What would you do when you are on this page? You want to cite 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You go to reference. What would you do when you want to cite 1, 2, 3, insert? What would you do? Go to Google, go to Mendeley. Then you look for the folder you want. In case you have several folders, then where you can put it in. Then you select your article on anemia, hypertension in pregnancy, then you cite. Reduce salt intake. You go to insert the same routine. You pick your article, you cite. Check your blood pressure. Where would you go? Insert that. You have the article in already. Then you finished, reference. Then you go insert. Now I want to do something before we move on to the Zotero. That one will be very quick. So if you say, it says, you would see Vancouver, Nature, a National Library, I want our popular Harvard reference star. Use this star. Done. Now you've seen it's changed everything to Harvard. So if you submit your article or your manuscript to Journal A that recommended Vancouver, and the other article says use Harvard, you don't panic. You just come to your reference manager and then instruct it to convert it to the style that the journal would want you to do it. You don't come and do anything manual. Right. And so assuming you still want to change, APA. You want to use the APA style. You select it, use this style. You select it. Please do these changes and let's see whether we are on course. That we can, at the end of it, we've moved from Vancouver to Harvard to APA. And that is the icon in here, style. You come into style, you come into insert a citation to view the list of styles. You just click on it and it will ask you to do it. Of course, you can put the citation in here, but this is the easy way of doing it. Let's go back to our Vancouver. Use this style. And we are back. Can faculty please go back to change the style to Harvard and let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's very simple. Very simple. Harvard. Use this style. Done. And we are back. All right. On that note, we would end the Mendeley. And as I said, please practice it. Within every month, you can write a commentary, a feedback, a short article. If you haven't done even any research, you can look at a new article and we want to write a letter to the editor and use it so that you don't forget. And so that is with my recommendation. Now, we're going to do the Zotero very fast. We're going to now use the same principles that we used to do the Zotero. First of all, let's go to our Chrome or our Firefox browser. If you have successfully downloaded the Zotero, you would find this icon, this extension also importer here. Let's call it also importer here. Have you all found it? If you haven't found it, please it means that you did not add the extension, the Zotero extension. If you added the Zotero extension, you will find it here. At the same time, if you are using a Mac and you come to the bottom, or if you're using the IBM and you click on the Zotero icon, you would find the Zotero icon. Very simple, not that complex. There is no syncing here. And you would see everything. So let's start with our new Zotero platform. You would see this icon here is the new folder or new collection icon. And this is like the library. If you want to create several collections within a certain library, you create the library first, then you put in the collections so that you don't have so many folders to work with. Then if you come here, you will see a new item. This one will tell you about, I think it's add and identify, something that will help you to identify the document very fast that you want. Then if you want to attach, maybe you had a PDF version, but somehow online when you are downloading, you couldn't get the PDF version. Then you can attach the PDF version. And then This one, if you want to add some notes, you do that. And this one is a search button for you to search for an article. In case you have about 200 articles selected, the authors, the duration, and several other parameters are in there. And this is where the last column on the right is where you would, if you want to create your own, you put it in there. Now, again, here too, there's some refresh button in here, which you would want to sync with other systems, but don't let us go there to have hiccups. Now, first of all, the first thing I would want us to do is to create a new collection. So, new collection, Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons trainer. Please let us all do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. New collection on our Zotero platform. So that is it. And you see it's blank. Now we go to our browser. And the same articles we use for the hypertension. No, where is it? No. Where is it now? Okay, let's go to PubMed and say hypertension. Okay, maybe pulmonary hypertension. There are too many articles in there. And Ghana. Okay, we have 27 articles on PubMed on pulmonary hypertension in Ghana. It means we haven't done a match on pulmonary hypertension, or we haven't published much on pulmonary hypertension in Ghana. But if you type pulmonary hypertension and see 75,000, and out of 75,000, Ghana is taking only 27 now. Okay, we'll do better next time. Now, we want to take these 27 articles to our Zotero. You click on the Zotero icon, and for Zotero, it will give all to you here. Simple. So if you want to select some, fine. Otherwise, you say select all. And it will take it to the folder for you. I want to select all the 27 articles. So we click OK, OK. Then we go back and see, and it's even saving to Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons trainer collections. Maybe I shouldn't have selected, or it will take too long a time to do that. But we can go and wait for it there. Oh, it's even in there already. So depending on how fast your internet is, it's all in there. So you realize that they are very similar. You click on the extensions, you select the articles that you want, then it goes into the folder or the collection folder that you have created. That is the approach. Now, you want to now cite using your Zotero. Very simple. New folder. This, you'll find it in here. You won't find it in the reference. If you go to reference, you won't find it. Say, I can't find my Zotero plugins. I can't find my Zotero plugins. It is not in reference review. It is not in there. So what happened? Meanwhile, it is here. Sometimes it is just here. So add, edit citation, add, edit bibliography, document preference, refresh, simple. So PH, pulmonary hypertension in Ghana, please type that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's add a citation. Then it will ask you for even the Zotero, it will ask you where do you want, which type? Vancouver, nature, modern language. It will ask you before you even go to a library. Very simple way. So let's go to our Vancouver that is recommended by the Ghana College. So we say, okay, then it will say, which of these articles do you want? Which one? So you can say you want the classic view. So This is the classic view. It's the same thing, the Ghana College trainer. Then you say first article, you select it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's there. Then you say COVID, one of the complications of COVID-19 infections. Is that okay? Then you say add, go. Then it will ask you, we say we want the classic view. Then go to the next article. You select okay, you are there. Let's see, lung physiotherapy. So you would want to say, add a reference to that. You go, you select classic view, then you go to your third citation, you're done. Then you are done, you go to reference, like we did for the previous one. Then it says add bibliography, so you just go back and you are there. Is Zotero easier than Mendeley? Or is it because we've had a session on the Mendeley for the last 1.5 hours? Yeah, it's a matter of preference. But my qualitative research on users on these two references reveals that people prefer the Zotero because it's faster to run with. There's nothing like syncing and go to your library and making sure it is on your desktop. And now they are threatening us that by 1st April, the desktop version will not be available for anybody to download again. And in Zotero, you are not going to have any much problem of this nature. Now, we want to change the referencing style. So you come to doc and you say, I want the Vancouver Harvard. It's changed. Now change to APA, American Psychological Association says, change to APA, the 7th edition. APA 7th edition. So that is APA 7th edition. You are there. Go back to Vancouver. So this is Zotero for you. If you have successfully downloaded the Zotero and you have the icon showing like I have mine here, and you have your web browser and you have the extensions in there, you need to see the extension in here. I would want to show you something quickly. Have you seen now it's a folder? It looks like a yellow folder. Now let me click on this article. Have you seen it's changed from a folder to like a paper? It means it is just the only article that you would want to save in your library. When there are several articles that you would have to select, it will change. So when you go onto, you type something, let's say KNUST admissions. So you see KNUST admissions, it's still like there's a web page. But once you go to Scholar and you have, let's say, my profile, and you have several articles in, you would see that it's changed and you have the articles to select. So pay attention to some of these changes that you see Zotero do so that you won't come and say, oh, my Zotero is gone. If there is nothing, it's usually the Z, but Mendeley will remain as it is. As a trainer, you need to be competent in the two, so that if you have a candidate who is using that, then you can still help. But Zotero, it's easier to go, and you always will remember. Now, there is one more that later on, I would recommend that the college would want those who are into qualitative research to also help out, and that is the Nvivo. The Nvivo software also is there for analyzing as well as for working on a software that makes qualitative research very easy. What I've taken you through are the basics. There are more that you can navigate at your own time to be able to appreciate and love, whether it is Zotero or it is Mendeley. If you migrate to even EndNote, you would use almost the same system, except that EndNote will charge you. You may have to renew your license every year and all those things. Thank you.
Professor.
Yes.
Yeah, a few people have commented that it's Zotero all the way because it's easier.
Yes. Yeah, but if I would be given the opportunity to tell you what it is, my story about Zotero. When I was doing my master's, I was doing everything manual, and one day I asked Dr. Blay Ingwa that was 2004 or 2003 thereabouts. So is there any online thing that can help? And he said Zotero. That was the early stages of Zotero. And so myself and Dr. Blay, if he is still online, will attest to the fact that we stayed with Zotero since 2003, 2004. So for the past, let me say 19 years, we stayed with Zotero. But we had to add Mendeley to it because you would have to have someone come to you. You are a seasoned researcher, and so can you help me with this referencing software? So maybe I'm using only Opel Cadet. I cannot drive this Benz. So you have to pay attention to that too. So I would encourage all of us to move between the two so that we are good. Do you want?
Are there any questions or comments?
Mm-hmm. Or we are comfortable now? We can go and what it is that tomorrow morning your candidate or your student you are supporting, ask him which of the software and take him or her through, so that you become a trainer. Otherwise, even though you've done some bit of practice this evening, after 2 weeks you still will struggle to see, hey, where was this? And what did Professor do? But the more you train people, the more you also keep the skill and the competencies. Can you give us
you just indicated
your lessons for lessons learned, please?
Okay, number one lesson learned. After listening to the Mendeley, I agree that the Zotero was much, much easier when you were teaching me. I followed relatively easier. So what I did was to first download, and actually I wasn't sure I'd done the right thing. So that is how come I called him. So after downloading, he showed me how to create like my library. So what I did was to first of all, we get a word page and start typing in whatever topic or subject was of interest. And after that, I used the Google Scholar to search for some articles. And then after searching for the articles, I selected them into a folder. No, before then I created a folder in my library. Then I selected into that. Yes, so after I had selected the articles that were of interest, I went back to my Word page, and then wherever I wanted to insert the article, when I click at that point, I go to the, there was an icon at the top. Let me see. Yes, I go to edit, add citation.
Mm-hmm.
And then whichever one I wanted, when I clicked on it, that citation, if it's the first one, it appears as the number one. Yeah, so I had to choose the classic view, yes.
Sure.
And then whichever one I selected, it will appear as that.
Thank you.
And
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So my recommendation is that stay with the two. Show others, even our undergraduate students who are doing the dissertations in community health. This is opportunity for us, the faculty members, to use them to practice. And we have taught most of our undergraduate fifth year students and final year students, and we believe that at the earlier you learn it, the more you stay with it. Thank you very much. Prof. Cheche, I would want to now hand over the baton to you.
Thank you very much, Professor Ansong. On behalf of all the participants and on behalf of the college, somebody has commented here, Prof, you are a good teacher. So we want to say a very big thank you. And as you have emphasized, this requires practice and practice and practice. Otherwise, what we have gone through may not be very helpful.
Sure.
So thank you again and again. I don't know whether any of the resource persons that have been involved in this exercise would want to make some comments before we end the day's session.
No, Prof, thank you very much.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Sandra?
No, Prof, thanks so much.
Okay. All right. We also want to say a big thank you to the IT unit headed by Patrick. They have done a great job ensuring that we've had almost seamless connections to have our Zoom meetings go on successfully. So on that note, thank you all very much and have a good night.